John Gotti, the future Dapper Don, was born in 1940 in the heart of Brooklyn. Poverty was his reality. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, he was no stranger to hardship and struggle. With 14 siblings, survival was the daily grind. The Gotti family lived in a small, cramped apartment where every day was a battle to make ends meet. Gotti, a natural leader, even at a young age, quickly learned the street's harsh lessons. He was often seen as the protector of his siblings, taking on responsibilities beyond his years. He found solace and opportunity in the neighborhood's looming presence, the Gambino crime family. The allure of power and respect drew him in, offering an escape from his impoverished life. Agnello della Croce, a Gambino capo, became Gotti's mentor. Della Croce saw potential in the young Gotti, recognizing his charisma, intelligence, and ruthless streak. He recognized Gotti's charisma, intelligence, and ruthless streak. Under Della Croce's guidance, Gotti learned the intricacies of the mob world, from loyalty to the code of silence. Gotti's early crimes, petty thefts, and truck hijackings proved his loyalty and ambition. These acts were not just crimes, they were rites of passage, earning him respect and a reputation. The Gambino family became his surrogate family, offering a twisted sense of belonging and the promise of power. The bonds he formed were stronger than blood, bound by a shared pursuit of wealth and control. By his early 20s, Gotti was a trusted enforcer. He had climbed the ranks quickly, proving his worth through his actions and unwavering loyalty. He had a knack for making problems disappear and instilled fear and respect in equal measure. His reputation as a formidable enforcer spread, making him both feared and revered. His world was built on loyalty, violence, and the pursuit of illicit riches. The streets of New York became his playground, and he played the game with unmatched skill and determination. Little did he know he was on a collision course with infamy. As he rose through the ranks, his actions would soon draw the attention of law enforcement and the public, setting the stage for his eventual downfall. Gotti's rise through the ranks was swift. From the moment he entered the world of organized crime, it was clear that he was destined for greatness. His ambition and drive were unmatched, and he quickly made a name for himself in the underworld. He possessed a unique blend of street smarts and cunning. This combination allowed him to navigate the treacherous waters of the criminal world with ease. He knew when to strike and when to lay low, always staying one step ahead of his rivals. He earned the respect of his peers and the fear of his enemies. His reputation for being both ruthless and fair made him a formidable figure in the mafia. Those who crossed him quickly learned that Gotti was not a man to be trifled with. His flamboyant style, a stark contrast to the traditional mobster, made him a media sensation. He dressed in expensive suits, drove flashy cars, and frequented the hottest nightclubs. The media couldn't get enough of him, and he loved every minute of it. He reveled in the attention, earning him the nickname the Dapper Don. His ruthlessness became legendary. Stories of his brutal tactics spread like wildfire, further cementing his status as one of the most feared men in New York City. He was a man who lived by his own code, a code where loyalty was paramount and betrayal was met with swift and brutal justice. This code was the foundation of his power, and he enforced it with an iron fist. His reputation preceded him, making him a valuable asset to the Gambino family. They knew that with Gotti on their side, they had a powerful ally who could help them achieve their goals. He controlled lucrative rackets, from construction to gambling, further solidifying his position. These ventures brought in millions of dollars, and Gotti made sure that everyone knew who was in charge. Gotti's confidence grew with each success. He became bolder, taking on more ambitious projects and expanding his influence. His charisma and leadership skills attracted a loyal following, and his crew would do anything for him. He wasn't afraid to challenge authority, even within the mafia's mafia's hierarchical structure. This audacity set him apart from other mobsters, who often preferred to play it safe. Gotti's willingness to take risks paid off, but it also made him many enemies. His ambition, however, was a double-edged sword. While it propelled him to the top, it also made him a target. Other mobsters envied his success and plotted against him, hoping to take him down. It brought him immense power, but also sowed the seeds of envy and resentment among his peers. Despite the constant threats, Gotti remained undeterred. He continued to rise, leaving a lasting legacy in the world of organized crime. Gotti's ability to evade conviction was uncanny. Time and again, he found himself in the courtroom, facing serious charges, yet he always managed to walk free. His legal battles were almost legendary, each one adding to his mystique. He became known as the Teflon Don, as charges seemed to slide right off him. No matter how serious the accusations, they never seemed to stick. This nickname wasn't just a media creation, it was a testament to his almost supernatural ability to avoid conviction. He manipulated the legal system using intimidation and bribery to his advantage. Lawyers, judges, and even law enforcement officers were not beyond his reach. His influence extended far and wide, making it nearly impossible for the law to catch up with him. Juries were tampered with, witnesses silenced, and evidence mysteriously vanished. These tactics were not just rumors, they were well-documented strategies that Gotti employed to ensure his freedom. The lengths he went to were extraordinary, showcasing his deep understanding of the legal system's vulnerabilities. His charisma played a significant role in his success. Gotti wasn't just a criminal mastermind, he was a captivating figure who could charm almost anyone. His magnetic personality drew people in, making it easier for him to manipulate those around him. He cultivated an image of a benevolent mobster, a man of the people. Now, this carefully crafted persona made him a local hero in the eyes of many. He was seen as someone who looked out for his community, a stark contrast to his violent and ruthless reality. He was often seen handing out money in his neighborhood, solidifying his Robin Hood persona. These acts of generosity were strategic, designed to win the loyalty and silence of those around him. It was a brilliant move that kept his community on his side. The media lapped up his every move, further fueling his notoriety. Gotti understood the power of the media and used it to his advantage. Every court appearance, every public gesture was a calculated move to maintain his larger-than-life image. Gotti's reign, however, was built on a foundation of fear and violence. Behind the charismatic facade was a man who ruled with an iron fist. His methods were brutal, and his reputation for violence was well earned. He was a ruthless leader, eliminating anyone he perceived as a threat. Loyalty was demanded, and betrayal was met with swift and deadly consequences. His ability to instill fear was a key component of his power. His enemies often up dead or missing, their fates a grim reminder of his power. These disappearances were not just random acts of violence, they were calculated moves to eliminate opposition and maintain control. His Teflon Don image gear began to crack under the weight of his brutality. As the bodies piled up and the stories of his violent tactics spread, the public's perception began to shift. The invincible image he had so carefully crafted started to erode, revealing the true nature of his reign. Gotti's criminal empire was vast. He controlled unions, extorted businesses, and ran massive gambling operations. His reach extended from the streets of New York City to the casinos of Atlantic City. He amassed a fortune, living a life of luxury and extravagance. His crimes, however, were far from victimless. He was linked to numerous murders, including the assassination of Paul Castellano, the former head of the Gambino family. His reign of terror instilled fear in anyone who dared to cross him, from rival gangsters to innocent bystanders. The FBI, however, was closing in. They were determined to bring down the Teflon Don. They used wiretaps and informants to gather evidence, painstakingly building a case against Gotti and his associates. The walls were slowly closing in on the seemingly untouchable mob boss. The FBI's relentless pursuit of Gotti started to yield results. They managed to plant a bug in his Ravenite social club headquarters, capturing his conversations about criminal activities. His inner circle, once considered impenetrable, began to crumble as informants like Sammy the Bulgarvano agreed to cooperate with the authorities in exchange for leniency. Gotti's once unshakable confidence began to waver. The pressure from the authorities, coupled with the betrayal of his closest confidants, took its toll. His carefully constructed world of power and impunity was on the verge of collapse. The evidence against him was mounting. The FBI had him on tape discussing murders, extortion, and racketeering. So, his days gestärings, deze walking free, he's of being the prowess, or the Teflon Don, were numbered. Why the man who once seemed invincible was about to face the full force of the law.